Hello everyone and welcome to Math Academy, my Nikhil. So in this video we shall be discussing questions from the chapter number 4 quadratic equations of class 10, and I shall be discussing questions from exercise 4.1 in this particular video. So I shall, without wasting much time, I shall move on to the class. I can see that the video has been cut, but I'll be back soon, but we will be solving the problem that is here in front of you, right? Yes, now let's discuss question number 1. So in this question they are asking us whether this particular equation stands for a quadratic equation. So what we have to do is we have to simplify this particular equation and try to find out whether this equation is quadratic or not. For doing that, we'll need a basic amount of algebra. We need to have a good idea about the kind of algebra that we need. So we shall start doing the problem right now. Alright, fine. So let's start doing the question. So this is going to be x plus 1 the whole square. Yeah, the color doesn't seem to be nice. Yeah. So this is going to be x plus 1 the whole square is equal to 2 into x minus 3. Now let's try to simplify this one. You can see that this expression is similar to the expression a plus b the whole square that we had studied. So this is going to be a square plus 2ab plus b square. That is going to be a square plus 2ab plus b square. So that is going to be x square plus 2ab means 2 into x into 1 plus 1 square, which is equal to 2 into x minus 3. Now let's again simplify this expression. So that is going to look like x square plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 2x minus 6. I just opened the bracket here. Now we can actually take everything to my left hand side. I'm taking every term from the RHS to the LHS. So this will look something like this: x square plus 2x plus 1 minus 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. You can see that all the terms from my RHS has come to the LHS, and it is preceded by a negative sign. Now let's open the bracket. When I open the bracket, this is going to be x square plus 2x plus 1 minus 2x plus 6 is equal to 0. Now let's cancel off the terms that we can cancel. Now this is going to look like x square plus 7 is equal to 0. Now we have to decide. We got the expression that is x square plus 7 is equal to 0. Now we have to decide whether this equation can be called as a quadratic equation or not. Like, this is the next thing that we have to decide. We have to decide whether this equation can be called as a quadratic equation. Now let's see how it is going to be. We know that the general form of a quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and we know that ax plus bx plus c is the general form of a quadratic equation. In this particular case, we know that here a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, and c is equal to 7. So we can say that this still keeps the form of a quadratic equation. So why? Because quadratic equations are equations in which the highest exponent is equal to highest exponent of the variable must be equal to 2, and we can see that in this expression also we can see this happening. If this was an expression in which you don't have an x square term, instead you have only the term highest exponent of the variable happens to be 1, then that would not be a quadratic equation. But in this case, you can see you are having it to be x square, so we can say this is going to be a quadratic equation. Clear, everyone? Shall we move on to the next question? Yes, we are moving on to the next question, and that is going to be x square minus 2x, right? We'll take it out. X square minus 2x is equal to minus 2 into 3 minus x. Now let's simplify the expression. That is x square minus 2x is equal to minus 6 plus 2x. This is going to be minus 6 plus 2x. Now again I opened the bracket, right? So minus of minus into plus is going to be minus. That is why I got minus sign, and minus into minus is going to be plus, so it is going to be plus 2x. Now let's simplify the expression by taking everything on my RHS to my LHS. Now let's do that. That is going to be x square minus 2x minus of minus 6 plus 2x, which is equal to 0. Now let's open the bracket. X square minus 2x, minus of minus becomes plus, so this is going to be plus 6, and minus of plus, minus into plus is going to be minus, so this is going to be minus 2x is equal to 0. Now let's combine the like terms. You can see there are two like terms, which is minus 2x and minus 2x. So simplifying, you will get x square minus 4x plus 6 is equal to 0. X square minus 4x plus 6 is equal to 0. Now we can see that this particular expression has come to the form, and it is taking the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, in which your value of a is equal to 1, your value of b is equal to minus 4, and the value of c is equal to 6. So this is going to be the value. So I hope the logic has been very much clear. That means that you are getting the value of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Clear everyone? I hope that logic is very much clear, right? So we got the values of a, b and c. We got the values of a, b and c. Now let's move on to the next question. Again, this is going to be, so the first two questions are still quadratic equations, and now we'll see the question number 3. Question number 3 is standing for x minus 2 into x plus 1 is equal to x minus 1 into x plus 3. Now let's simplify this expression. We can see that we'll just have to open the bracket. When I'm opening the bracket, I'll first multiply x and x, so that is going to be x square, and the next is going to be x into plus 1, which is going to be plus x. In the next case, it is going to be minus 2 into x. So minus into plus is going to be minus. So this is going to be minus 2x. Again, this is going to be minus 2 into plus 1, which is equal to minus 2. That is how you open the bracket. Now, once the bracket is open, let's move on to my RHS. When I'm moving on to my RHS, you can see that again I'll have an x into, again you will have an x into x, which is going to be your x square. Next you will have x into plus 3. So that is going to be plus 3x. Next you will have minus 1 into x, which is going to be minus x. Next you will have minus 1 into 3, which is equal to minus 3. So this is going to be my expression. Now let's try to simplify the expression. Now simplifying this becomes x square plus x, and minus 2x becomes minus x. Minus 2 will remain as it is. On the other side, I will have x square minus plus 3, and minus 1 is going to become plus 2. So it is going to be plus 2x minus 3. Now you can take everything from this side to the other side. So that is going to be x square minus x minus 2 minus of x square plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now we can see that, yes, we can simplify this expression. Before simplifying, I'll just make it a little bit smaller. Alright, yes. Now let's simplify the expression. We'll open the bracket. So this becomes x square minus x minus 2. Opening the bracket, this is going to be, I'll just open the bracket. When I'm opening the bracket, you'll have minus of plus, minus is going to become minus x square. Minus into plus is going to be, again, you have a minus and you have a plus. So this is going to become minus. So it is going to be minus 2x. And you have a minus and a minus. Minus into minus is going to be plus. So it is going to be plus 3 is equal to 0. You can cancel off the 2x square. So this is going to be minus x minus 2x minus 2 and plus 3 is equal to 0. Minus x and minus 2x becomes minus 3x. Minus 2 and plus 3 becomes plus 1. So this is equal to 0. Or so from this expression, now you can compare this expression to which one? You can compare it to ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, in which a should not be equal to 0. That is the basic idea for your quadratic equation. That is the basic idea for your quadratic equation. But here you can see that when you are listing down the values of a, b and c, the value of a becomes equal to 0. The value, let me just bring it back to the forefront. Yes, this is going to be your expression. In this expression, you can see that the value of a in this particular expression, which is the final expression that we got, I'll just mark it here, which is going to be the final expression that I got. In this expression, you can see that a is equal to 0, b is equal to minus 3 and c is equal to 1. But we know that in a quadratic equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c, a should never be equal to 0. If a becomes equal to 0, this will not be a quadratic equation, and since we have the value of a equal to 0, we can say that this particular expression is not a quadratic equation. So I hope the logic is very much clear to you. Clear, right, everyone? I hope the logic is very much clear. Now let's move on to the next question. Again, the next question seems to be very similar to the earlier question. Now let's expand it. So x minus 3 into 2x plus 1 is equal to x into x plus 5. Now let's expand it, right? So when I'm expanding, x into 2x is going to become 2x square. X into plus 1 is going to be plus x. Minus 3 into 2x is going to be minus 6x. and minus 3 into plus 1 is going to be minus 3, which is equal to, this is going to become x square plus 5x. This is going to be x square plus 5x. Now let's take everything, all the RHS to my LHS. So this is going to be 2x square, and I'll simplify this one as plus x and minus 6x is going to be minus 5x minus 3 minus of x square plus 5x. So this is going to be my expression. This is going to be my expression. Let's open the bracket. Opening the bracket involves 2x square minus 5x minus 3x, minus of plus is going to be minus, so this is going to be minus x square. Again, minus of plus is going to be minus, so this is going to be minus 5x is equal to 0. Now let's cancel off the like term, so it is going to be 5x and 5x will get cancelled. 2x square minus x square is going to become x square, and you have a minus 3, that is only thing remaining, so it is going to be x square minus 3 is equal to 0. X square minus 3 is equal to 0. Now let's compare it to the quadratic equation that we have studied, which is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Let's compare it to this expression. What is the value of a? A is the coefficient of x square, right? A is the coefficient of x square. Now let's see what is the coefficient of x square. The coefficient of x square is equal to 1, the coefficient of x is equal to 0, and the coefficient of on the constant term is equal to minus 3. So we can say that this is satisfying the condition to be called as a quadratic equation. So we can say, what is the condition? It should follow the form of ax square plus bx plus c, and a should not be equal to 0, and you can see a is not equal to 0. So we can say this is going to be called as a quadratic equation. So clear, everyone? Do you have any doubt in this particular question? I hope not, right? So let's move on to the next question. Yes, let's move on to the next question. That is going to be 2x minus 1 into x minus 3 is equal to x plus 5 into x minus 1. So let's do that, right? Yes, let's do that. That is going to be 2x minus 1 into x minus 3 is equal to x plus 5 into x minus 1. Let's do that. Now what is that going to be? You can see that 2x into x. What is going to be 2x into x? That is going to be 2x square. Then 2x into 2x into minus 3. So minus into plus is going to be minus. So this is going to be minus 6x. 2x into 3, 2 into 3 is 6. Negative sign comes in, and minus into plus is going to be minus again. So it is going to be minus 6. Minus into minus is going to be plus. So that is going to be plus 3. Now let's do the math again and the expansion to the other side. So x into x is going to be x square. X into minus 1 is going to be minus x. 5 into x is going to be plus 5x. Plus 5 into minus 1 is going to be minus 5. So we wrote down the expression very clearly. We expanded the expression very clearly. Now we have to simplify the both sides. So this is going to be 2x square. Like terms are going to be minus 6x and minus x. So it is going to be minus 7x plus 3 is equal to, you can see again, minus and plus is going to be plus. So it is going to be x square plus 4x minus 5. Now you can take the whole thing to the other side. So that is going to be 2x square minus 7x plus 3 minus x square plus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. Now let's open the bracket. When I open the bracket, that is going to be 2x square minus 7x plus 3 minus x square minus 4x plus 5 is equal to 0. I wrote it very quickly, but I'll explain that also. Minus of x square is going to be minus x square. Minus 1 into plus 4x is going to be minus 4x. Minus 1 into minus 5 is going to be plus 5. So that is how you got the expression. Now let's cancel out the common terms. It is going to be minus 7 and minus 4 is going to be, I'll just expand. 2x square minus x square is going to be x square. So that is going to be your one of the expression. Minus 7 minus 4 is going to be minus 11. So it is going to be minus 11x. Then you have the constant term, which is going to be 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. So plus 8 is equal to 0. So this is again following the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, in which a equal to 1, b equal to minus 11, and c is equal to 8. So we can say this again satisfies the condition to be called as a quadratic equation. This again satisfies the condition to be called as a quadratic equation. Clear, everyone? I hope the concept is very much clear to you, right? So you got the value of question number 5. Let's move on to question number 6 again. Let's see what is going to be question number 6. That is x square plus 3x plus 1 is equal to x minus 2 the whole square. X minus 2 the whole square. Alright, so I hope this question is clear. In case of any doubts, you may please comment. You may comment the opinion. If you feel that the class is a little bit fast, you may please comment here. Alright, so I hope the logic is clear. Now let's move on to the next question, that is x square plus 3x plus 1 is equal to, I shall expand this one, that is going to be x square minus 4x plus 4. Now how did I get that expansion? This is taking the form a minus b the whole square, which is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. So that is the form a square minus 2ab plus b square. Now we'll simplify this expression. I'll take everything to my left hand side. So x square plus 3x plus 1 minus of x square minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. Now let's open the bracket. When I'm opening the bracket, that is going to be x square plus 3x plus 1 minus 1 into x square is going to be minus x square, again minus 1 in, sorry, yeah, minus 1 into minus 4x is going to be plus 4x, so it is going to be plus 4x. Again, this is going to be minus 1 into plus 4 is going to be minus 4 is equal to 0. Now let's simplify the expression. You will cancel off the 2 common x square, and 3x plus 4x is going to be equal to 7x, and plus 1 minus 4 is going to be minus 3 is equal to 0. So this is taking, if you compare it to the expression ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, we can see that a takes the value equal to 0, b takes the value equal to 7, and c takes the value equal to minus 3, and this is not the form of a quadratic equation. What is the form of a quadratic equation? It should take the form ax square plus bx plus c, where a not equal to 0, but here a is becoming equal to 0, so this is not a quadratic equation. By visually, you can actually say by looking at the absence of x square term. Visually, you can say by looking at the absence of x square term. So when it is absent, when the x square term is absent, you can genuinely say that your value, your expression is not a quadratic expression. By genuinely looking at the expression where you don't have an x square term, you can easily say that the equation is not a quadratic equation. Clear, everyone? I hope the logic is very much clear. Shall we move on to the next question? Yes, that is going to be x plus 2 the whole cube, right? This is going to be interesting. X plus 2 the whole cube is equal to 2x into x square minus 1. Now this is getting more interesting, right? Let's see. How can I expand this one? Have I studied an expression like this? Yes, you have studied an expression. What was the expression that you have studied? The expression that you have studied is going to be of the form a plus b the whole cube. I'll write it for you, right? That is going to be of the form a plus b the whole cube is equal to a cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square. That is the expression, right? Now when you have an expression like this, x plus 2 the whole cube, I can compare it, right? I'll just compare. X plus 2 the whole cube means your a is taking the value of x, your b is taking the value of 2. So you can do the substitution. So that is going to be x cube plus 2 cube plus 3 into x square into 2 plus 3 into x into 2 square. This is the expression. Now let's simplify the expression. You can see that b is taking the value 2 and a is taking the value x. Now let's simplify the expression. That is going to be x cube plus 8 plus 6x square plus, this is going to be 2 square is going to be 4. 4 into 3 is equal to 12. So that is going to be 12x. So this is going to be the expression. You can see that that expression is a little bit long. That is why instead of writing it here, I just took it here and simplified it here. So this is going to be x cube plus 8 plus 6x square plus 12x. So shall we copy it down there? Yes, I'll write it down. This is going to be x cube plus 8 plus 6x square plus 12x is equal to, now let's do the multiplication. Multiplication is going to be 2x into x square. So both are positive, so it is going to be 2x into x square plus 2x into minus 1, which is equal to 2x cube minus 2x. This is going to be the expression. Now we can bring everything on my RHS to my LHS. Now let's simplify that also. Let's simplify that also, dear students. We'll do it in the next page. We'll do it here. Yes, this is the expression that I've got. Let's do the simplification. So when I'm doing the simplification, this is going to be x cube plus 8 plus 6x square plus 12x minus 2x cube plus 2x is equal to 0, Now I can actually say that, yes, I just moved it so that you can see it clearly. Yes. Now I can see that these are the two common expressions. So x cube minus 2x cube is going to be minus x cube. Here you have a 6x square and you don't have any square term. So that is going to be plus 6x square. Next you will look for the x term. You can see a plus 12x and a plus 2x. So plus 12 plus 2 is going to be plus 14. So that is going to be plus 14x. Now you have a constant term which is 8 and you have another constant term. No, we have only one constant term, so that is going to be plus 8 is equal to 0. You can multiply with the whole thing by minus 1. So this is going to be x cube minus 6x square minus 14x minus 8 is equal to 0. So this is going to be your final expression, and this expression does not take the form of a quadratic equation, because what? Your quadratic equation should be of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and you can see that instead of having a square term, it also has a cubical term. So having cube term does not make it, it actually disqualifies the equation from being a quadratic equation. If this x cube was absent, then we could have actually considered the value, right? If the x cube term was absent, we could have actually considered it, right? So this is not a quadratic equation. So we can say this is not a quadratic equation. This is not a quadratic equation. I hope it is clear. Shall we move on to the next question, dear students? So it is going to be question number 8. Again, we shall simplify this expression simply. You can see the expression x cube minus 4x square minus x plus 1 is equal to x minus 2 the whole cube. Now we have to say we had an x plus 2 the whole cube, but in this question you can see you are having an x minus 2 the whole cube, but we should understand that these two are extremely similar, so we'll use similar methods to solve this question. Now let's see the equation. The equation is going to be a minus b the whole cube, which is equal to a cube minus b cube minus 3a square b plus 3ab square. This is the formula. This formula might also be taught like this: minus 3ab into a minus b. These are the two ways in which this formula is actually taught. When you are equating or opening the bracket, you will end up getting the equation above. So I will not be confusing you with two equations. I will be just writing this particular form, and in this form you can see you can compare it to x minus 2 the whole cube. So let's do the expansion where a takes the value of x and b takes the value of 2. Now that is going to be x cube minus 2 cube minus 3 into x square into 2 plus 3 into x into 2 square. So this is going to be the expression. Now let's simplify the expression. This is going to be x cube minus 8 minus, what is minus 3 into 2? It is going to be minus 6. So it is going to be minus 6x square, and you have a 3 into 4 which is equal to 12. So that is going to be plus 12x. So this is going to be the expression for x minus 2 the whole cube. Now let's write down the expression here. This is going to be x cube minus 8 minus 6x square plus 12x is going to be the expression, right? This was the expression that we derived here. I hope that derivation is also very much clear, right? We have to do the substitution step by step. We have to do the substitution step by step so that you will be very clear with the concepts. All right, that's very important that you have a very clear clarity about the concepts that we are learning, right? Now let's move on to the next step, and the next step involves taking everything on my LHS to my RHS. Now let's do that, dear students, so that it will look something like this: x cube minus 4x square minus x plus 1 minus x cube minus 8 minus 6x square plus 12x is equal to 0. Now let's open the bracket. Now when I am opening the bracket, this is going to be x cube minus 4x square minus x plus 1 minus of 1. So you can see it is minus, it is going to be minus 1 into x cube is going to be minus x cube. Again you can see minus 1 into minus 8 is going to be minus into minus is plus, so it is going to be plus 8. Again you can see minus 1 into minus 6x square is going to be plus, minus into minus is plus, so it is going to be plus 6x square. Again you have a minus 1 into 12x, plus 12x is going to be minus, negative into positive is minus, so it is going to be minus 12x, minus 12x is equal to 0. Now let's cancel off common terms. Let's cancel off the common terms, and you can see you have two common terms. That is going to be x cube and x cube. That is one common term. Now we have square, which is going to be two of them. That is minus 4 and plus 6. So minus 4 plus 6 is equal to plus 2. So it is going to be 2x square. I'll just take the color. It is going to be 2x square. You have a minus x and you have a minus 12x. So it is going to be minus 1 minus 12, which is equal to minus 13x. And you have a constant, which is 1, and you have a constant, which is 8. So it is going to be plus 1 plus 8 is going to be plus 9. So it is going to be plus 9 is equal to 0. Now let's simplify the expression. So this simplification involves understanding a is equal to 2, b is equal to minus 13, and c is equal to 9. So we can say this is again a quadratic equation. So this qualifies to be a quadratic equation because it satisfies the condition ax square plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0, So I hope this concept has been very much clear to you. Let's read the question, right? The question is to represent the following situations in quadratic equation, using quadratic equation. So our purpose in this particular video is to represent, all right? So our purpose in this video is to represent the following situation in using the concept of quadratic equations, right? Let us try to solve it. So this is going to be a relatively a very simple concept, right? The area of a rectangular plot is 528 meters square. That means that I'm having a rectangular plot and its area is 528 meters square. So if I am going to represent it visually, I'm going to have this rectangular plot and the area is equal to 528 meters square. Now we know that basically the equation is going to be length into breadth. Like the equation is going to be, the basic equation is going to be length into breadth, and this length into breadth is going to be equal to 528. Now let's read the next part of the question. The next part of the question goes like this: the length of the plot in meters is one more than twice its breadth. Now this is going to be the most difficult part for many students, right? How to actually analyze this statement, how to convert this statement in English to mathematical form. Now that's going to be the most difficult part for most of the students, but don't worry students, please ensure that you listen to my class very carefully. I shall explain that with such a crystal clarity that you won't have any doubt from now onwards, all right? So let's listen to the class. Let's see that the length of the plot is, so we are talking about length and we are saying that the length of the plot is, so this is standing for my equal to, and length of the plot is equal to, that is what meaning. The length of the plot is, that is standing for equality, right? I hope that concept is clear. When I say in English, this is a cat, so this is standing for equality. So I'm talking about this, and this is equal to a cat. This is how you convert the English into mathematics. So is standing for equality in this perspective. You should actually practice more and you will understand that. So length of the plot is equal to one more than twice its breadth. So it is one more than twice its breadth. That means that the length is equal to one more, means that is one more means that addition is happening, and twice means it's multiplication. One more means it is addition, one more than twice its breadth. Length is equal to one more than twice its breadth. Now you got an equation for length and you know that the expression for breadth is b, then what is going to be your length into breadth, or area is going to be length into breadth, right? Now let's give you an idea or an insight into how to convert it into a quadratic equation. We know that in a quadratic equation, we always should have only one variable. Okay, we should have only one variable. So which is the one that I'm going to convert it into variable? You know that area is equal to length into breadth. Now you know the equation for length to be equal to one more than twice its breadth into b. Now you can see that this is automatically getting converted into a quadratic equation. Why? Because I know length in terms of breadth. So what I will do is that I will substitute the length in terms of breadth and I will keep the breadth as it is. So now you can see that now I have only one variable, that is the breadth. So I will generally write let breadth of the rectangle be, let the breadth of the rectangle be, I am calling it as our standardized variable x. So we can say that in this particular expression, your length is equal to, we wrote it as L is equal to 1 plus 2b. I am going to replace that b with x. And I am going to write a statement before that, and that statement is going to be b is equal to x. And I need one more statement before that, area is equal to length into breadth. Are you able to understand how I wrote it to the top? I did not write from the bottom. I'm writing from top to bottom. I'm writing it from bottom to the top, because that is how I actually identified the problem, right? That is how I identified the problem. You should actually identify the problem first before starting to write in an examination. You should have an idea about how to solve a problem before writing. So I just wrote it like this. I understood that length is equal to, I knew that area is equal to length into breadth, and when I wrote length is equal to 1 plus 2 times b, then I understood that I can write it like this. So it is not necessary that you should always write these things. You can imagine that in mind also. You can imagine, you will just write this particular statement, L is equal to, this length is equal to 1 more than 2 times breadth. I'll just write it like this, length is equal to 1 more than 2 times breadth. Then I'll just, in my mind, I'll do it like this. So I'll identify there is going to be a quadratic equation, and that means that b has to be my variable. So I'll just write a is equal to L into b. Let the breadth be of the rectangle be x, and then that means that b is equal to x. Then I'll write L is equal to 1 plus 2x. So area, since area is equal to length into breadth, this equation is going to be x. Now you can see that your area is equal to x into 2x plus 1, and we know that area is given to be what? Area is given to be 528. The area is given to be 528. Now let's simplify the equation. Now the equation is going to be x into 2x plus 1 is equal to 528, or I'll expand, this is going to be 2x square plus x is equal to 528, and I can write my final equation. I can write my final equation to be 2x square plus x. I'll take this 528 to my left side, so that is going to be minus 528 is equal to 0. So I hope that logic is very much clear, right? Where did we start the concept? We started the concept from this. Rectangular plot is 528 meters square. The length of the plot in meters is 1 more than twice its breadth. From that I understood that this is going to be, L is going to be 1 plus 2 into breadth, and I replace my breadth with the variable x. Why? Because I know that area is going to be, that is how you are supposed to think. The thinking perspective is extremely important, all right? That thinking perspective is extremely important. I'll just give you a brief on how I thought it. I'll just give a brief on how I thought it. First, when I read the question, I understood that area is equal to, I'll just write down the thought process once again. A is equal to 528 meters square. That is the thought process that came into my mind first. Then I understood that area is always equal to length into breadth. That is there in my mind again. Then it is given that length is equal to length is equal to 1 more than twice the breadth. Length is equal to 1 more than twice the breadth. Then I'll have in mind that 1 plus 2b into b is equal to 528. This looks like a quadratic equation. This, once I have this much clarity in my mind, or I might write it as a small piece of paper, then when I'm writing for the exam, I will start like this. Once this particular idea comes into my mind and I have registered that this is going to be, my answer will look something like this. Okay, then I'll start writing, let the breadth of the rectangle be called as x. Then I'll write area is equal to length into breadth, and when I say b is equal to x, then L is equal to 1 plus 2x. Then area is equal to length into breadth. Length, area is equal to length into breadth, which is giving this equation. So I'll write this equation again, and I'm writing the next step, then I'm writing the next step, then I'll end up with my final answer. But this is how my thought process work. This is how my mind has worked, right? This is my thought process. This is my thought process before writing the equation. This thought process is extremely important. All right, that's very important. Now let's move on to the next question, dears. I hope that concept is very much clear. The equation is also clear. The final answer is also clear. You can see the final answer here. This was your final answer. All right, now let's move on to the next question, dear students. This is going to be, the product of two consecutive integers is 306. we need to find the integers. Now we should understand that we are talking about two consecutive numbers. How can you, this is a standard method that you have to study, right? When we are talking about two consecutive positive integers, that means that I will having a number 4, the next one is going to be 5. If I am having a number say 10, the next number is going to be 11. If I am having the next number to be 2543, the next number is going to be 2544. That is going to be my next number. So I hope that logic is clear. That means that if I am taking this to be variable x, that means that I am not sure about my first number, but I just know that my second number is going to be one more than the first number. So that is the logic. When I am talking about two consecutive numbers, this means that my second number is always one more than my first number, one more than my first number, Is that logic clear, dear students? That is the logic of consecutive numbers. My consecutive numbers means my second number is always going to be one more than my second number. So when I'm trying to write something, I'm going to think of my thought process. My thought process is going to be my first number, I'm calling it as say x, then my second number is going to be one more than the first number. So if x, first number I'm calling it as x, the second number is going to be x plus 1. So that logic is very much clear, right? So I'm going to write, let first number be x, then the second number is equal to x plus 1. Now let's write down. How can I write it down? Yes, that is going to be x into x plus 1, the product. You know what is it mentioned? They have mentioned that the product of, that means that I have to multiply my first number and the second number. So this is my first number, this is my second number, and an answer of these two multiplication is going to be 306. So I'll write this is equal to 306. Now let's simplify the expression. That is going to be x square plus x is equal to 306, or x square plus x minus 306 is equal to 0. X square plus x minus 306 is equal to 0. I hope that logic is clear. So this involves a little bit of logical understanding also. When I am reading word problems that we have already did in our previous chapters, when we are reading word problems, the most important skill that you need to have is the ability to convert the lines in English into the lines into the mathematical form. That is the most important skill that you have to develop. I hope we are able to understand that skill very clearly, right? I will be explaining each and every word very clearly. When I am going to the next question, let's go into the next question without wasting any time, dear students. Now next question is going to be, Rohan's mother is 26 years older than him. That means that who is older? Mother is older. Who is younger? Rohan is younger. That means that if I am taking the age of Rohan, I have to add 26 to that in order to get the age of Rohan's mom, right? If you have to get the age of Rohan's mother, you have to add 26 to his age. For example, if Rohan happens to be 10 years of age, then what does that mean? His mother is going to be 10 plus 26. If Rohan happens to be 50 years of age, all right, it could be your father, the age of your father. So if Rohan happens to be 50 years of age, what can we say about, what can we say? We can say that his mother's age is going to be 50 plus 26. That's the logic behind the whole thing. So who is going to, so it's better to have the variable to be Rohan's age. That is the logic that I thought. You know, that is how the logic that I thought when I read the first sentence. First sentence, all these information has been processed inside my mind. You know, these kind of informations are being processed in my mind. And that means that 26 years older than him means my Rohan's age, I am taking Mr. Rohan's age to be equal to x, then his mother's age is going to be x plus 26, because that is always 26 greater than Rohan's age, right? That is the logic. Now they have given, let's read the next sentence. This is the information that I got from my sentence number 1. All right, this is the information that I got from sentence 1. Let's move on to sentence 2. Sentence 2 says, the product of their ages is 3 years from now. Oh, it's not today. The product of their ages 3 years from now will be 360. That means that I'm not talking about today's ages. I'm talking about the age after 3 years. Now let's identify that, age of Rohan after 3 years. That is important. So age of Rohan after 3 years, say assume that you are 15 years of age now, you are for 15 years, after 3 years what will be your age? It will be 15 plus 3. Assume that your mother's age is say 40 now. If your mother is 40 now, what will be her age 3 years after now? It is going to be 40 plus 3. So if Rohan's age is X now, then Rohan's age after 3 years, what will that be? That will be equal to X plus 3, right? Now what would be the age of mother after 3 years? What will be age of mother after 3 years? What is her current age now? It is not to be expressed, it should be expressed as X plus 26. So it is going to be X plus 26, and I have to add a 3 on for it. So that is going to be what? That is going to be X plus 29. So you have got your Rohan's mother's age after 3 years to be X plus 29, and Rohan's age after 3 years to be X plus 3. Now what is the information that is given? The product of their ages 3 years from now. So should I multiply these two? Should I multiply these two? No, I am supposed to multiply X plus 3 and X plus 29. Why? Because the product is not talking about their current ages. Instead, the product is talking about the ages after 3 years. So that is going to be X plus 3 into X plus 29, which is equal to 360. X plus 3 into X plus 29 is equal to 360. Now that's an equation that you got. Simplify the equation, dear students. Let's simplify it. Let's simplify it very clearly. So that is going to be X plus 3 into X plus 29 is equal to 360. Yes, I got it right. Now let's simplify it. What is going to be X into X? Yes, I am going to multiply X and X, that is going to be X square. Next is going to be X and 29, which is going to be 29X. The next is going to be 3 into X, so it is going to be plus 3X. Again, next is going to be 3 into 29, which is equal to, how much is 3 into 29? Yes, I have already taught you the techniques. So 3 into 29 is going to be 90 minus 3. How did I get it? 3 into 30 minus 1, which is 90 minus 3, which is equal to 87. So I'll replace this here with 87. The next, so it is equal to 360. So this is going to be X square plus, what is 29 plus 3? 29 plus 3 is going to be 32. 32X plus 87 is equal to 360. Now when I bring it to this side, that is going to be X square plus 32X plus 87 minus 360 is equal to 0. Now let's see what is going to be 87 minus 360. Yes, I'll do the other way around. I'll do 360 minus 87. And how will I get 360 minus 87? In my opinion, I would actually do it. 360 minus 90 is 270. 270 plus 3 is going to be 273. So that is going to be X square plus 32X minus 273 is equal to 0. So how did I do this addition method? So these additions, I'm doing it in my mind, right? These mind type of calculations are extremely important. In order to have this kind of mathematical skills, you should follow the methods that I generally ask you to solve or follow. All right, that is very important. So please ensure that you follow these kind of methods so that your calculation skills are extremely improved. All right, so let's see that. Now that is going to be X square plus 32X minus 273, which is equal to 0. That happens to be your say what that is your quadratic equation. So what is your final equation? I'm going to write the final equation. I'm going to just write the final equation. That is going to be yeah, just wait a moment, dear students. Please wait. Please wait. Yeah, please wait. Oh, yeah, that is going to be X square plus 32X minus 273 is equal to 0 happens to be the final quadratic equation, and this is your starting point. This is your starting point and this is your last equation. I have explained how you got to that particular equation also. I hope the concept is very much clear. Without any doubts, we have moved on to the next question, which is going to be a little bit involved in physics concept. This involves a little bit of physics also. Now let's see how to involve physics into it, right? For this, a train travels a distance of 480 km at a uniform speed. That means that a train travels a distance of 480 kilometers. So the train is traveling a distance of 480 kilometers and at a uniform speed. So we have already studied in physics in class 9 what is uniform speed, what is the equation for distance, your speed and time. These kind of informations have already studied in your physics. Now that concepts that you have studied in physics is finding its application in the chapter quadratic equations, and you should understand that the concept of quadratic equations always involve a lot of physics and a lot of logic into it. All right, you need to have a lot of logic into it. So let's add a little bit of logic. Earlier we used logics, early in the earlier questions if we are using logic. Now we'll be putting a little bit of a pinch of physics into the whole thing, right? We'll just add a little bit of salt, we'll just add a little bit of physics into it. Let's see what is the equations that is connecting speed, distance and time. Yes, the formula is going to be speed is equal to, this formula is speed is equal to distance by time. So this is going to be the basic equation. Once I read the question, I am getting the hint that I will have to use this concept. When I read the question, I am getting the hint, okay, I need to connect speed, distance and time. So I just kept it, I wrote it, I am keeping it aside so that I can use it as a reference. When I have some doubts, I'll just look into it. I don't do everything in mind, I have my methods, I know my strength, I know my weakness, I know that I'll make mistake here. So what I did, I just wrote it in the side and I just kept it there, let it be there, man, let it be there. So let's see. Now that's going to be a train travels a distance of 480 kilometers at a uniform speed. If the speed has been 8 kilometers less, then it would have taken 3 hours more to cover the same distance. We need to find the speed of the train. All right, fine. So we are talking about the distance 480 itself and in two situations, right? First, it is a situation in which it is going to take some time. If the speed has been 8 kilometers less than its original speed, right? What is the thing that we are supposed to find out? That means that if it is traveling at a smaller speed, it will take a longer time. That's true, right? When we are walking very fast, when we are going to your school, assume that you are traveling to your school, and if you are walking fast, that means that you will actually reach the school faster. That is generally we do when we are going in the morning, right? But when we are coming back, we always travel slowly. We'll be talking to our friends, we'll be enjoying, we'll having some chai on the between, we'll be having some coffee, we'll be having some lime juices or something like that. We'll just have to go to something, we'll just have something, on the way. So that is going to be a little bit slow. That means that you will reach fast, slowly, right? You will take more time, right? That's the logic that it is saying. So it's talking about two situations. It is a standard situation and a situation where we are having 8 kilometers less, 8 kilometers per hour less. So, and what is the thing that they are asking? We need to find the speed of the train. They are talking about the speed of the train. So we need to find the speed. Which should we find the lesser speed or the larger speed? We have to find the larger speed because they are not talking about the lesser speed. Now, so we have, let the speed of the train be x. I am taking the speed of the train to be x. Why did I take speed of the train to be x? Because that is something that we are supposed to find out. We are supposed to find out the speed of the train and I am calling it as x. Alright. So if we look into it, we would like to find the Rohan's present age. We have to find Rohan's present age. When we have to find Rohan's present age, I took Rohan's age as x. We need to find the integers, so I took one of the integers to be x. We need to find the length and breadth of the plot, then I took the breadth to be x. But the thing is that in certain questions, if we take question number 1 and question number 2, you can see that there are two things that has to be found out and we have to take one of them to be the variable. So you should have the thought process in mind and you have to use your concept in order to apply which is going to be your variable. In certain questions, it's very direct, right? So for example, in this question, you can see that we are supposed to find Rohan's percentage. So you can directly take that to be your variable. In this question, you have to find the speed of the train. So you can directly take that to be your variable. But in the question number 1 and 2, you had to find two integers. Right, and you're having two integers to find out, you have to decide. And in our first question, you have to find length and breadth. So you have to decide which, either length or breadth, which is the one that you have to take as your variable. That is our logic. When you have two integers, which is the integer that you're supposed to take as your variable? That is also a logic. So these two logics are very important, right? Now in this case, it's very simple. We can directly take the speed of the train to be x. Is that clear, dear students? Is that clear? You'd have to understand the logic as well as the other way around, Fine. Let's see. Let the speed of the train to be x. Now, what is the information that is given? It travels at a speed, it travels a distance of 480 kilometer at a uniform speed. So I don't know the uniform speed. Yes, I took the uniform speed to be x. So what is going to be the time that it will take? It is going to be 480 divided by, it is going to be 480 divided by x is going to be the time that the car will, time that the train will take. So I am calling that time to be, say, t. Now, let's write the next situation that is given. What is the next situation that is given? If it has traveled at a speed that is less by 8 kilometer, if it is traveling with a speed that is less by 8 kilometer, that means that what is going to be the new speed? What is going to be the new speed? The new speed is going to be x minus 8. How did I get that x minus 8? Because they are talking about a situation where the speed is 8 kilometer per hour lesser. It is less by 8 kilometer per hour. So I am taking that to be x minus 8. I am taking that to be x minus 8. Now what is the situation that will arise when I am having x speed to be x minus 8? It has to travel the same distance, right? It has to cover the same distance. So the distance will remain to be 480. It is given that it has to cover the same distance. So same distance means my distance is going to be 480. The new speed is going to be x minus 8. And what is going to be my time, dear students? It takes 3 hours more. It takes 3 hours more. That is t plus 3. Clear? If it was given twice, you should have multiplied by 2. When they say 3 times more or 3 hours more, means you have to add. You know, when I'm talking about more, you have to add. When I'm talking about less, you have to subtract. When we are talking half, you have to divide. When you are talking about twice, you have to multiply. That is the logic. If it was statement was, it takes twice the time. If it was the twice, you have to multiply by 2. If it is thrice, you have to multiply by 3. If they say the time takes 5 times, if it says 5 times, that means that you have to go for multiplication. 5 times means it's multiplication. 3 times means it is multiplication. 2 times means it's multiplication. When I say 5 more, addition, 3 more, addition, 3 hours more, addition, 4 hours less, subtraction. That is the logic. That is the wordings that you are supposed to remember. I hope that logic is clear, dear students. That means that you have to do more problems. These number of problems are not enough. You have to do more problems in order to understand that logic. All right. Let's see that. That is going to be t plus 3. Now when I am talking about t plus 3, that is going to be 480 divided by x minus 8 is equal to t plus 3. How can I solve it, dear students? Now, how can I solve it? I am having a variable t here. I am having a variable x here. I don't want 2 variables. Man, I just want a single variable. I don't want t here. I want to eliminate t. How can I eliminate t? Let me try to eliminate t. Yes, do I have any way? Yes, I have something here. Let me use this here. Let me use this here. Let me use this here, my friend. Let me use it here. Let me try to use it. That is going to be 480. It is going to be 480 divided by x plus 3 is equal to t. Sorry, x plus 3. What is it? X minus 8. I'm sorry. I just made a mistake. It is going to be x minus 8 is going to be t plus 3. And I know that I can replace this t with what? With 480 divided by x. I can replace that t with 480 divided by x. Now let's replace that, and what is going to be my new equation? 480 divided by x minus 8 is equal to 480 by x plus 3. 480 by x plus 3. Now how can I do that? How can I simplify this? Looks a little bit complicated in such situations. I would give you an idea. You have to multiply by the whole thing by x into x minus 8. Why did I say that? I am technically taking the LCM, right? I am technically taking the LCM. It is as simple as that. I am taking the LCM. So when I am taking the LCM, that is going to be 480 divided by x minus 8 is equal to 480 plus 3x divided by x. 480 plus 3x divided by x. Now the next step that I am going to do is I am going to cross multiply. I am going to cross multiply. Let me cross multiply. So that is going to be, I hope you are clear with it, right? You are clear with this. Is going to be x, which is going to be coming here. I am having 480 plus 3x, which is going to be multiplied by x minus 8. So the equation is going to be, I'll just reduce the size of the whole thing so that we can have more space to write. This is going to be a little bit lengthy equation. That is 480 into x is equal to x minus 8 into sorry, this is going to be 480 plus 3x. There are different methods to solve it. I'm just giving you one of the methods. I'll give you one more method here. So this is going to be like this, and I'm going to multiply. That is going to be 480x is equal to, I'm going to multiply these two. That is going to be 480x. Then I'm going to multiply these two. That is going to be plus 3x square plus 3x square. Now this is going to be minus 8 into 480. So that is going to be minus 8 into 480 minus 8 into 480. Then it is going to be minus 8 into 3x. It is going to be minus 8 into 3x. Now let's simplify the expression. The expression goes like this. 480x is equal to 480x plus 3x square minus 8 into 3 is going to be 24. 8 into 3 is going to, this is going to be 24. That is going to be minus 24x minus 8 into 480. 8 into 480. I'm not multiplying 8 into 480 right now. You might have noticed that, right? I'm not multiplying because I don't like multiplication. I always tend to do the large multiplications at the end because I always am very pretty sure that I'll be able to cancel something out. So I'm an optimistic person. I don't like doing multiplications as easily. Okay, so I'll try to always cancel things out. I can see that these two will get cancelled. So my expression is going to be 3x square minus 24x minus 8 into 480 is equal to 0. Now I can see that I'm having a 3 here. I'm having 24, which is equal to 8 into 3. That means that I can again take a 3 common from here. Here 8 is standardized, so I cannot take anything, but 480 can be written as 3 into 160. So again I can see that I am having a 3 here, I'm having a 3 here, I'm having a 3 here, so I can take a 3 common outside. So that is going to become 3 into x square minus 8x. How did I get 8? Because 24 is going to be 8 into 3. So I'll take the 3 common outside and the remaining is going to be 8. The negative sign stands as it is. So it is going to be minus 8x. Now the next is going to be minus 8 into 160. Now how did I get that 160, dear students? Because I'm having a 480, which could be written as 3 into 160. I'm taking 3 common outside, so the remaining is going to be 160. That 160 will stand here. The minus 8 was already there and did not do any changes for that minus 8, so that stays as it is. Now this is going to be the equation, and I know that from this equation I can take 3 to this side, so that is going to be 0 by 3, which is equal to 0. Alright, that is going to be 0 by 3, which is equal to 0. I'm really sorry, my bachon. I'm really sorry, my bachon. मैंने मेरे पीछे, I wrote everything behind, right? I wrote everything behind. Oh my God, I'm really sorry about that. All right, I'm really sorry. I'll just explain it again. I'll just explain the whole thing again. 3x square has a 3 common. That's fine. Now I have a 24x. I have a 24x, which could be written as 3 into 8, which could be written as 3 into 8. So I'll take the 8, sorry, I'm taking the 3 out of the 3 into 8. I'm taking the 3 common outside. The 3 goes out. So the 8 remains here. 8x will remain here. The x will remain here. And the negative sign also remains here. So it becomes minus 8x. The negative sign, the x will remain here. And the 24 will be written as 8 into 3. And I'll take the 3 outside. So it will be 8x that remains. So the final expression is going to be minus 8x. Real? Fine. Now let's take this one out of this one, and I'm writing this 480 as, I'm taking this 480 as, 480 will be written as 3 into 160. The 480 will be written as 3 into 160, and the 3 into 160, out of the 3 into 160, I'm going to take the 3 common outside. So the 160 will remain there, right? The 160 will remain there, and then minus 8 is also remaining there because I have not touched that. So it is going to be minus 8 into 160. Now let's simplify the expression. I'm going to take the 3 to the other side, which is going to make it 0 by 3, which is again equal to 0. Let's write down the next step of the expression. Let's write down the next step of the expression, which is going to be 3 into x square minus 8x minus 8 into 160, which is equal to 0. That means that x square minus 8x minus 8 into 160 is equal to 0. Now, how will I do 8 into 160, dear students? There are many methods for me to do it. 8 into 160 can be found out in many methods, and the method that I prefer right now is to do 1600 minus 320. So I'll multiply. How would I do that? I did it by 160 into 10 minus 2. So that is going to be 1600 minus 16 into is 320. So that is how I'll do it. Now again, how will I subtract this one? I'll subtract it as 1300 minus 20, which is equal to 1280. Everything in mind. everything in mind. So that is going to be x square minus 8x minus 1280 is equal to 0. So this is going to be the final expression that I am going to get. This is going to the final expression for this particular question. So you should please understand how to do the multiplications that I am doing in my mind. You know that mind calculations are extremely important. That is very important for you. Don't go around and write 8 into 160. I don't write down 8 into 160. I always calculate it as 1600 minus 300,300, 1,300 minus 20, which is equal to 1280. That is how I generally do it. That is my method of solving. I have already explained all the multiplication techniques in my YouTube channel. If you have not seen those techniques, go to my YouTube channel. You can see all the techniques there. Use those techniques in order to find the answers. All right, that is how you will improve your multiplication skills. You know, I'll have sessions also. I generally conduct some live sessions also, so you can join that also. All right, so I hope that logic is very much clear to you. And if you feel that you need to join, I'm also building the largest community of students who are actually preparing for class 10 students. So the class 10 students, you may join the community by clicking on the WhatsApp link that is present. It will lead you to the WhatsApp community. Join the community. I'll be sharing a lot of tips and tricks, the multiplication techniques like this, my additional notes that I provide, additional techniques for writing the examination, how to write the examination so that you can improve your marks. These kind of skills I'll be sharing there. These kind of informations I'll be sharing in the WhatsApp community. So please do subscribe to my channel. Please share it to your friends, like the video, and share your feedback in the form of comments. So thank you everyone for watching this video. I'll be coming to you with the next video, and thank you. Bye bye.